It's been out for 2 weeks now, so we're going to discuss Captain Marvel. And joining me to do that, his name is Nick English.
Well, my friends, they just call me Fury. Not Nick, not Nicholas, not Joseph, just Fury.
Wouldn't it be English?
English.
All right. And witnesses say that she was dressed for laser tag. She's Taylor Iverson.
And I think I'm afraid of cats now.
That flirkin' cat. And I can't eat diagonally sliced toast. I'm Brandon Uccio. Okay, guys. All right, we're talking Captain Marvel. We have all seen it. I wanted to see it twice before we recorded this, but I was unable to make it to the theaters twice. But that's okay because Taylor's just seen it recently, so we should balance each other out.
Mm-hmm. I saw it yesterday, so I should be fresh.
I saw it the night that it came out. I told my wife I'm going to this. We had blue and gold Cub Scout banquet, and I was like, immediately following this, I'm driving out to go see Captain Marvel on a nice theater.
That's awesome.
So, I wanted to wait because I went to visit my family for spring break, and so I took my little sisters, and I was really excited to take them. So I waited. So I'm lucky. Got to see it yesterday with them.
All right. Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over our spoiler-free reactions. So we're going to warn you when there will be spoilers. So you can listen for just a minute. For some strange reason, you still haven't seen Captain Marvel, and you're like, I need to know what the Fandom podcast says about it. Okay. This is time to get real. Very first thing is go see the movie.
If our review is what's stopping you from going, you should have gone already. Because
what are you doing? We're not that cool.
You know us. We like things here. I know Nick hates when I do this, so I'm not going to force everybody to do it. But I'm going to start out and say I gave this movie an 8 out of 10. This movie, or if you do math, it's a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 stars. But this movie was really good. There were a couple things that got to me that I was like, well, not a perfect movie, but I think that's a lot of what we're missing in society nowadays is the ability to say something was good but had its flaws, or something was bad but has value. Like we get so wrapped up in, no, this is the best thing ever, that you can't actually discuss something. I think this was a great movie. I loved it. It's really high on my Marvel ratings, but it's getting so hard to rate Marvel movies anymore because there are just so many good ones, but it's pretty high up there on the list. And
I don't even think that I could do a rating. I mean, when we had our podcast and we rated all of the Marvel movies, like that was hard.
It was really hard. And I don't think any of us agreed with the order because we were all, it was a weird system we used.
Yeah, but it's also like the only system we probably could have used to make it continue forward because we were just been arguing the whole time on why this one is better. So great.
There was a reason we used it.
Yeah, this is a great movie. I would give it 6.5 out of 8 stars.
What? Why we all
only just to make Brandon, because he already used 2 of the. No, I'm just kidding.
So what you're saying is you give it 8.125 stars out of 10.
Yep, higher than you.
All right. You think this movie's better than I do? Then we're gonna have some words about that.
Probably.
I think I'd give it an 8.5 out of 8.5. I'm just kidding. 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's some things that you're just like, okay, yeah, this is okay. But for the movie was pretty well paced. It was entertaining throughout, and everyone should go see it. And if you're not going to see it because of if you hate Brie Larson, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just go see it for itself. And I mean, there were so many YouTube videos that people were sending me, and they're like, this person has some valid points. And I was watching them, and then after I saw the movie, I was like, all of those rants were completely dumb. Every single thing that they were like, this is the problem that it's going to have. None of them had, the movie didn't have those problems.
See, what I laughed about, there was this one guy who sent me a video about, he knows that I'm a data nerd, and he's like, hey, this Captain Marvel fan right here has gone out and gone through and crunched the numbers from Rotten Tomatoes, and Rotten Tomatoes is lying about the numbers. And I'm like, hang on. And so I double checked his work. Let's just say that YouTube video did not stand up to peer reviewed research.
All right, there you go. All right. So yeah, go see the movie. Captain Marvel is awesome. There's a lot of just fun things in it. Even if you just don't like Captain Marvel, there's a lot of fun things about the MCU in it. Go see it.
Yeah, it's a real fun movie.
Yeah, a couple non-spoilery things about this. So I went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy with my dad, who was a child of the 70s. And he left that movie just loving the movie because of the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
And as a child of the 90s, so 90s music was a little bit more all over the place than 70s music was. But there were a couple songs in there that I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect, and this is nostalgic. And
when Waterfalls started playing, I was like, oh, I heard this song so much, I don't want to hear it now. I don't want to chase any more waterfalls, TLC.
I think Just a Girl was the perfect song.
No, like legitimately could not have picked a better song.
That was perfect.
That said, if you have a better song that you would have picked,
you're wrong
for that scene.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Please don't write in and tell us.
Oh, and that's Taylor, who always asks people to write in and tell us. So, all right. So I think if you ever wanted to experience what the people who went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy and grew up in the 70s experienced, and if you grew up in the 90s, this is very much a similar vibe, I think, from there. Now, another thing, and this is another thing that's tied to Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a lot of things tied to Guardians of the Galaxy in this movie just because it's the space cosmic stuff. But this one is tied to it in the fact that it is not a goofy comedy the way that Guardians of the Galaxy was. Because after the first Guardians of the Galaxy came out, it set a mold for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thor Ragnarok followed it. Spider-Man's always been funny and quippy. But there's so much more comedy in the MCU after Guardians came out. Now, at the same time, it was also around the same time that Marvel and DC were seemingly feuding a bit, and DC was saying, we're not going to have any humor because these are dark and serious movies. And Marvel said, fine, we're going to show you. We'll double down on our humor. This movie was funny without being goofy. And with the aliens that were in this one, it would have been very easy to go goofy. But it wasn't. So it was cool. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I like the fact that they broke the mold a little bit, but I think that's where some of the critics and the reviewers that don't like it are coming from, because they went in there with some pre-established expectations and they got something different than what they were expecting. So they were trying so hard to look for the art that they were expecting that they missed the art that was given to them, that was put in front of them. And so they couldn't appreciate it.